Hello, good morning, and welcome to the most recent edition of the Bearded Tyke. Today I'm joined by a new guest, Dale. Thanks for jumping on,
Right,
pal.
fellas. You all right, fellas? How are we doing? Nice to have you on. Thank you.
All right, now I've calmed down, mate. Yeah, after yesterday. It seems to be a weekly occurrence. And then again, joined by my regular guest. Welcome again, Anther.
Morning, lads.
Yeah, we're all good, mate. All good. All good. Much better. After yesterday, unfortunately. But like I said. So, we played Wimbledon at home yesterday. And again, I think it's indicative of our season and the way it's going. And it's incredibly frustrating. We start well for 15, 20 minutes. In fact, we looked fantastic yesterday for 15, 20 minutes. Got a good 2-0 goal, and then it just all goes to shit. And I don't understand why it just goes from such extremes from one end to the other. Even in the same half, within a few minutes, we go from brilliant to absolutely woeful. It's really frustrating, but we'll start with the lineup. I'll come to you first, Dale, because you're a new guest today, mate. So I'll come to you first. What were your thoughts on the lineup?
I thought it was a strong lineup. To be fair, Ryan, I think it's as normal back four of Shepherd and Robbo. I mean, and not DK for chuffing hell. Didsey and Bradshaw, Cleary, who's he's our player at season for me so far. And then we've got Scotty as well, Scotty Banks. I think I keep saying to everybody that I talk to about Barnsley for the past number of months now that we've got and I think it's been mentioned a few times. We've got a promotion pushing front line, and we've got a relegation form, defence. But yeah, I thought going into the game I was confident for once. To be fair, I really was. I'm not normally, especially this season where we've been going on. But yeah, I thought it was a game-winning side, but it turned out a lot different.
Yeah. Coming to you then, Ant.
Yeah.
A couple of eyebrows raised for me personally, but I'll let you have your say first. Just not. I don't mind. I don't mind the 4-4-2, I suppose, but I think that at Bolton we got absolutely spanked when we went to 4-4-2 and looked a lot better when we went back to his regular 4-3-3. But we started really well, so maybe he did get that bit right. I'm just not so sure about playing two strikers when we've only got two strikers in the entire club.
No.
It's a bit of a strange one. But what were your thoughts on?
Well, I kind of disagree with 4-4-2 because we've played his best football this season in the 4-3-3. We had a little run just after Christmas where we looked like we were getting somewhere, and it were one DM, and it were Phillips attacking on the right, Kelly attacking on the left, with one striker, and he seems to have been that now. So I was looking at that midfield thinking, Connell's he's a DM, but as we've seen on the third goal, he kind of wanders off. Kelly is a driving forward midfield player. So as good as we were going forward, I just thought the Bills going backwards. And as it turned out, I was right. And if you add Roberts into the mix, who, I mean, I said in a video we did quite a while ago, Ryan, that he should hang his boots up. I think he's done. Yeah. And we were warned by Birmingham when he signed that his legs had gone and he wouldn't do anything here. And we kind of skirted over it thinking, well, it's League One and all this stuff. He's getting found out every single game. And I love the guy. In his first spell, he was absolutely superb. And he's pretty close to one of my favourite defenders that's been here. But he's kind of ruining that legacy a bit now. Then you couple that with Shepherd's lack of form. I mean, he's been awful recently. I mean, we'll talk about him after Bolton, and he was horrendous in the first half. Dolby absolutely bullied him. Second half he picked up, but yesterday he was just never at the races. It feels like he's been, we touched on it before we came on, that he's been forced to do things that's probably not natural to him. Ball playing defender, which he's not, in my opinion. He should be just heading ball and clearing it as far as he can, in my opinion. And he's trying to play football. So as good as we were in that first 20 minutes, and we were good, that were like a top 2 performance for me, attacking wise. It were just as bad defensively, night and day again. Within halves now, it's not even like one half good, one half bad. It's within halves. My father-in-law came yesterday, and we went 2-0 up, and he went, "Wow, you're playing some really good football these days, aren't you?" I said, "Give it 5 minutes." I says, "Give it 5 minutes. When we get any pressure towards our goal, we'll crumble." And I swear to God, 5 minutes later, it was 2-2. And I said to him, this is what we're dealing with, mate. It's like, and Connor is not learning. He's not learning. He's not. We had a system that was working and he's gone back and he's binned it again. When you've got one striker, two strikers in club who can viably play football for this team right now, you have to play one up front, surely, so that one can play 70 minutes and the other one can play 20, and then next game the other way around. Because they're both very capable strikers. And Bradshaw showed yesterday that he can be a really good asset for this team. And you put him in box, 8 yards out, he's going to score goals. And Dizzy, I mean, his game is he's unbelievable now. I don't know what's happened with Dizzy. He must have got a really good Christmas present or something. I don't know. I don't know what this renaissance is, but since Christmas, it's been absolutely outstanding. Like the Dizzy that we all hoped he'd be. Yeah. So it's just like you're looking at the team and it's so fragmented. It's not a team. It's not a team. You could basically draw a line down the middle of it and say they're good and they're crap. That's basically what you could do.
That's that.
I'm struggling to work out week to week what to say about this team. I can't work it out.
Yeah. For me, with the lineup, I looked at it and just thought you could maybe understand it if we'd played Tuesday night at Stevenage and you sat there thinking, well, lads need a rest and this and other. But
yeah,
I mean, like you said, like Dale said, going forward, we look fantastic. And I think that front line, with Scott Banks and thing, I agree with you on. I just think playing two. I don't mind playing. The thing is, there's a difference between minding playing 4-4-2 or whether we've actually got the players to play 4-4-2. I don't mind playing it, but you've got to have the personnel to be able to do it. And playing two strikers when you've only got two in club is probably a bit foolhardy for me. I just think it's a bit silly. I don't understand why you do it, because it's just such a risk, especially with the amount of the volume of games that we've got coming up. And like you said, we moved away from a system where we've looked best playing that 4-3-3 or that 4-2-3. What I call it, the 4-3-3. We've looked better, and like you say, you're then utilising both strikers and not ripping arse out of them individually with the amount of volume of games we've got to play. But the Robbo one was a strange one. Listen, I just want to preface this by saying I love Matt Roberts. I thought he went first, like you said, his first stint at the club. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought he was such a good player. But like Shep, Robbo is not a ball-playing centre-back. He's a big lad. He's a big, strong lad. He'll get in there and he'll win headers and he'll put his body on line to block. But they're asking him to do stuff that they can't do. They're asking him to be players that they can't be. You're asking, it's like, it's unfair on them, if I'm being honest. It's unfair on them. Shep was so successful at Bradford last year because he played centre-half. An old-fashioned centre-half, winning everything, putting his body on line, blocking everything, not asked to do the things that he's being asked to do now. And it's just not firing. And Robbo, like you say, Robbo's legs have gone, mate. You know what I mean? It's time for him to hang up his books. And I say that with, a lot of sadness, really, to be fair, because he's got a lot of credit in the bank with Bounty fans as Robbo. He's a local lad. He was brilliant for us. He's come back to us. I thought he was all right, actually, for us last season at times, but this season he's just Father Time's caught up with him. And we had MDG and O'Connell sat on bench. MDG come on against Bolton last week and played really well.
Well, I was just going to bring this point.
I was just going
to bring this point up. Like, for example, I understand that Connor's trying to manage minutes. I get that, because obviously I think he's underestimated Wimbledon a little bit and probably prioritised Peterborough on Tuesday. However, we didn't have a game midweek. Now, I understand O'Connell needed a rest, but he only played a half last week and he's had all week off. So why couldn't he have played more? And MDG were brilliant against Bolton when he came on. He was brilliant. He got hold of the game. He looked sharp. He looked like he wanted it. Why is he not getting a game? Now I think we're entering the world of player politics, because I think he's thinking who's going to be here next season and who in. And I think that he's kind of probably managing minutes based on that, which I believe is why Phillips isn't starting in this team. Because I don't think that he believes that Phillips is going to be here next season, which is why he's trying to shoehorn people in and not playing the actual formation we should be playing, because he doesn't trust certain people right now. I mean, Roberts, he should be, if you're going to play Roberts, he should be either in a 3 or, I mean, I wouldn't even play him in a 3, but he should be coming on for 5 minutes at the back end of a game. Like, say, if we're under pressure and you're getting an aerial bombardment, you bring him on for 5 at end just to see games that. He can't play more than an hour. He can't. Yeah. There's no point. It's poor management, in my opinion. And I'm pro Connor because, again, I've said I get out my chair more this season than what I have in a long time. That was the same yesterday. I thought even when it was 3-2 down and we pulled the socks up and we got back into it, it was a great game. It was a great game to watch. It's just not what you want to see. You want to see Barnsley win 2-0, not 3-3. Kelly's another example. I mean, people slating Kelly, because I rated Kelly as an 8 yesterday, and people were saying, well, Kelly were quiet. Yeah, but when they changed formation at back end and he got shackles let off him, it was fantastic. Last 20 minutes, he played in his actual position, which was attacking, probably in that inside left and that area. And he was brilliant. You put people in the right place, they play better. It's not hard. Yeah. It's not hard.
Too many square pegs in round holes, and
yeah.
So I mean, that's a covered off the lineup as well. But coming to you then, Dale, the performance. Let's start with the first half. It was such a different first half from start to finish. So give us your thoughts on the first half, please, Paul.
First 15 minutes, like we said off air, we were brilliant. It was one of the. I said to my dad, who I go to the games with sometimes and stuff like that, I said it's one of the best performances we've had this season. In first 15 minutes, it 2-0 and cruising. But then I said to him, this ain't gonna stay the same. It didn't because we've seen it so many times that we've gave a 2-0 lead up and we've sat back and we've let teams attack us, and it's a confidence thing for me, Ryan. It's not good to watch. The first goal, Cleary, great football, great ball into box, and McGoldrick's there to put it in. That's what he does best for me. Yeah. He's a poacher. He's a poacher, And then once again, Reyes Cleary again. Another great ball into box, and Bradshaw's there. And then we fall asleep for the first goal. I think it's Roberts that loses his man into box. His ball watching when ball comes in from left-hand side, and their player runs in front of him, and he loses his mark. It's a clear header. And then the second goal, once again, it's it's a lucky goal. I think he didn't mean to cross it. I don't believe their winger. He were one of their better players for me. Were it their number 7, I believe?
Yeah, good player. Yeah.
Tanai Watson quite a few times, and he just shanked it, and it's just there for a clear header.
Yeah,
but it's Barnsley's season that it sums Barnsley's season up in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? A whole season summed up in 20 minutes.
It is. It's rinse and repeat, isn't it?
It is, Ryan, and it's worrying. I'm worried. I am, because we're 5 points off at relegation zone, and we're not getting wins together. Especially, as home form, it's a lot better than last season. But we're not getting those strings of results together, positive results to make us stay safe in League One.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's worrying. It is worrying.
Very worrying, mate. It is very worrying, Dale. Totally agree with you, pal. I hope we don't get dragged into it. I think we might have enough to stop up. Or we should have enough. I'll repeat this: we should have enough to stop up. But
it's that defence, though, Ryan.
Defence,
that defence for me is shocking. Like I've said to you guys before we came on. I backed Jack Shepherd to moon because of his performances for Bradford. I knew what he was capable of and what he is capable of. For the first 6 or 7 games this season, he was impeccable. He was amazing. But he just seems to have lacked that little bit of confidence with, for me, crap defenders at side of him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've heard you mention De Gevinier. I don't rate him at all. I don't rate him. Mark Roberts, like you've said, is 34, going on 35, I believe. Like you said, he's not a 90-minute player. He's a 15-20 minute player at most. We need that quality defender at side of Jack Shepherd to give him a little bit of confidence and to give him a little bit of a lift and to make him that main centre-back that we've had so much success with over the years. But yeah, that's my view.
Yeah, cheers, pal. No, I agree with you. I think with the MDG thing was he just played really well against Bolton last week, and if you're going to take one player out, surely the guy that played really well the week before would be the guy that you put in instead of Robbo, who's not played for ages. You know what I mean? It was just just a bizarre decision.
But we've done that. We've done that plenty of times this season, though, Ryan. With Vickers and he's had good games and we've kicked him out at squad and things like that. But yeah, it's frustrating. And Conor Hourihane needs to learn. I think Conor Hourihane, is he learning? That's the question from me to you guys. Is he learning the craft? Is he getting that wake up call of, listen, we're in trouble here? Is he getting that? That's my question to you guys, because I need to know what his plan is for the future of Barnsley Football Club, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Ant, I'll let you answer this question because you've had a lot to say on about Conor not learning when he's coming up. I think you're best placed to answer that, mate. So I'll let you have a shout.
I don't think he is, mate. I don't think he is, and I'm still Team Conor, but I think that he's not getting any good advice from his coaches. I don't think that, I think when you start talking about the coaches, Richard Keogh, for one, what is he saying to him? I mean, it's all right just lining lads up in a warm-up, in a 4, letting them head ball, but where's the midfield structure in front of him? Is he in charge of that? I think we need to start talking about what these coaches are actually doing. I mean, we haven't even talked about set pieces. I mean, is it Ed Davey that's the set piece coach? Yeah. So what is he telling Connell to do? Just kick it to keeper or under hit it? The set pieces in this club are horrendous. We get a corner, my lads, we're not going to score here, are we? We're not going to score here. No. And every time opposition gets a corner, you know that they're going to get some kind of half chance. Like Wimbledon were putting them in, back post, and they put a man in front of keeper. We don't do that. What is our set piece coach teaching these people? We have no dark arts in our team whatsoever. We're so naive, it's ridiculous. So back onto Conor. I mean, he's got us playing some lovely football. You can't say he hasn't. And I think he jokingly said in an interview, fans are getting value for money, and you could say that we are. Goals per game for your season ticket value is pretty decent. But I just want to see us win 1-0 and not look ridiculously poor at back. And I don't think he's learning at all. I think we're just struggling on. And I like I say, I think there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in this club. Maybe he's waiting. He's just trying to get this season out of the way, and then because did somebody mention on one of the forums yesterday that we're actually for sale now? I've seen this online. Is that true, or
I don't know, mate. I think there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise around it. I think that there's nothing confirming it, and I ain't heard anything since. But I have been told by a few different people that the club is up for sale. And I just think that everything that they're doing at the moment as a board with regards to investment in the squad. And the way that they're behaving and carrying on, it certainly does point towards it. And if I'm honest, Anne, I would certainly hope that be the case, because then it's understandable. As shit as it is for us right now, you can you think, all right, well, if they're selling it and they're not going to plough millions into it, are they? They're going to get a cash grab with the DKD money, try and recoup some of that and sell the club and move on. Right? Yeah. Okay, if that be the case, and I really hope it is, because it's just gone now. And these owners, it's gone. They're not coming back. The fans aren't coming back. So many fans are saying they're not coming back until they're gone. We've had enough. They've turned us from a championship club, right? And we were a solidified championship club. All right, we'd had a couple of seasons here and there in League One, but the vast majority of the time under Patrick, we were a solid, mid-table, good championship team, right? Club with a lot of respect, with a really good fan base. We had they were able to bring in some really good players. We brought in some massive talent on loan at times, and like your Trippiers and players like that. And this ownership have taken us from a good championship club into a very average lower half League One club, and it's categoric failure overall for me.
Yeah, so I agree.
I genuinely hope so, Anne. I genuinely hope we are up for sale.
Yeah,
everything would point towards that it is, but I've got absolutely. I don't know 100% if it is or not.
I mean, we're talking about potential situations. We don't really know, but it just feels like we're just treading water to get to the back end of the season, and then see what happens then. But if we're not careful, we are going to get sucked into this relegation zone. We are.
Yeah.
You can keep looking at games in hand. And, you know, if we win all those games in hand, we've actually got more points than Huddersfield, which is absolutely insane to think. But it ain't going to happen, is it? We know we're not going to get 4 wins. We're probably going to get a win and a draw in that if we're lucky. What my concern is, if we get took over, do I actually want Connor to be here under a restructured, more funded system? Because his decision making's poor. Yeah, okay.
It is, mate.
I like watching us. I'm same as him. I feel like he's a fan. He says that he likes watching us going forward. Yeah, so do I. But he can't work out what's going off. No, neither can we. It feels like he's in the same boat as what we are. Like, I'm clueless in that, what to do. He sounds like he's clueless. Maybe he needs like an older head above him, just to, you know, just talk him through some stuff. I've said before, why don't you just get McCarthy on phone and just say, Mick, how would you set this team up? Is that happening? Who knows? Is there any initiative like that? I mean, Mick McCarthy, he could say what you want about Nick, but he could set a team up defensively. He could. And, he's
That's the kind of person we need at the minute.
Well, yeah,
kind of person
we're
we
not
need.
asking him to sit.
That not
We won't
level
be
of
asking him to
person
sit in
because
dugout, would we? Just give him some advice, because it's ridiculous, mate.
Being good to watch going forward and enjoying his attacking, like you're saying, they're getting value for money. We're not getting value for money, Connor. We're not. I'm sorry. Yes, we do look good. We look good going forward, and I enjoy watching us when we're going forward. We put some really nice stuff together. But defensively, it's not just bad. We're an embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
We've got the 4th highest goal scoring record, goal scored in the entire league. So we've got a top 6 goals scored. We've scored 5 more than Bolton, and Bolton are an absolutely fantastic side and find themselves in 3rd place. But we've conceded 19 more than Bolton, and herein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. You can't win games without a good defence, and it's not value for money. I'd rather be a bit boring and, like you said, win 1-0, get a clean sheet, lock. So that's what I'd rather see than go through these, absolutely shredding me emotions to fucking pieces when I'm watching us and just being terrified every single time we come forward. Because let's have it right, yesterday it weren't just the goals that were shocking, but there were lots of times in that game where everyone were like looking through fingers like that, going, "Oh my God, what am I watching?" There were times when I think they had about towards back end at first half, I think they had about 4 corners in a row, and we just could not clear as lines. And they almost like looking at each other, going, "I don't know what to do. Is that your job? Is that my job?" I want to ask you this. I'll come to you, Dale, with this question. Do you think that it's a case that they are not good enough defenders, or do you just think that Connor's trying to be too technical and they're being completely overloaded with unnecessary information and unnecessary direction that they don't know what day of week it is?
Yeah, Ryan, I watched Barnsley when we had defenders who just kick ball out at stands and into Rose Ed. That's what I've grown out with. Modern day football is now more technical. I don't think that the defenders. I think the defenders are good enough. They've got that ability to be good enough, but it's settling into a system where they're not used to. If it's playing from previous clubs or anything like that, because, like I said, Shepherd under, I think, was it Parkinson? I can't remember who manager of Bradford was, but he's a no shit given manager and just get ball out to area and things like that. Just get it absolutely cleared. I think the defenders are good enough because we've seen first half at season, first couple of games, we saw good performances from the defenders this season.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a system that doesn't suit those players' ability, and that's what gets us stuck this season with because I don't even know how many clean sheets we've kept this season.
2
clean sheets this season.
Right. Lowest in all 92 league teams in the football in all 4 professional divisions.
I think we're equal worst down.
Yeah, all right. Second, joint lowest.
Well,
it's still not good.
We're matching a Premier League club there, so there's something to shout about. But no, listen, I don't think it's a quality problem. I think that it is a system problem. I think that we haven't got good enough defenders coming off the bench either to replace, to come on for Shepherd or for Roberts when he's tired. And I think that the system itself doesn't suit our portfolio, in my opinion. I don't think that at all.
Yeah. it basically goes back to what we spoke about all season, really, and me and Ant have spoke about it quite a few times, which is square pegs round hole, and that's basically what it goes back to.
Yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong with kicking ball into Rose Ed? I don't understand. What's wrong with kicking ball into Rose Ed and resetting? You know,
sometimes that's what's needed, isn't it? You don't.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Clear lines, get reset, set your back four up and get set.
We haven't got ball playing defenders, in my opinion. Jack Shepherd, I keep coming back to him. I like Jack Shepherd. I think he's a quality defender when he's on form and when he's got that confidence. He's got the pace. He's got the pace to get back. He's not sluggish at all. I don't believe if there are mistakes made, but I think that something drastic needs to change in that defensive area for me.
Yeah,
I don't get.
It's a worry, mate.
Like Ant said earlier, or I think it was you or Ant said that when Richard Keogh sets them up in a back four and he's just throwing ball up in air for them and stuff like that, and they're heading it back. I don't get that at all. I think that there should be some sort of one-on-one player practices before game, practicing passing ball into box and squaring it and things like that. I think there should be one or two defenders defending those situations, in my opinion, before game starts. But yeah, I'm going to say I think it is a system issue for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So just to finish off, because we've gone down a rabbit hole with different things, which I don't mind, because it's always good to hear people's opinions. But just getting back to sort of that, I'll covering off the second half, and I'll come to you about the second half. What were your thoughts, pal? Because I personally thought that we started it actually quite well, and we looked like we were actually going to go on and win the game. We looked like there was some desire to go and win the game, and we created quite a few chances, but then again, just absolutely awful defending for that third goal. Robbo completely out of position, like playing somewhere up in midfield, left massive gap at the back. Luke Connell chasing in a position he didn't need to be chasing in that far right hand corner. Then the simple ball round corner, Shep's pulled out of a 50-50. Mm-hmm. And he's just then it's just into box, a simple square, and it's in. I was glad to see us come back and not lose the game. No, I think we did well to get back into it, but it was such a shit because we did start the half really well and we looked like we were going to go and win the game. And that's the only shot they had all half, by the way.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts on the second half, pal?
I thought it was pretty even. I did say at half time to my lad, because we always try to predict what's going to happen, and he was predicting a 5-4 Barrow win. You know, like we did in FA Cup. I thought it might have been that high scoring. To be fair, I thought we would probably win. I thought we had enough to get a couple of goals in that half, especially kicking towards Ponty. But yeah, I mean, the Sucker Punch are 3-2 down. I mean, there's a still online showing how we were set up, and the ball is initially on their left. Connell's dragged out from his DM position. He's trying to press. Roberts is just wandering about 10 yards, like 2 yards behind him, not in his centre half position. Phillips, who should have been watching the guy who Connell was watching, was just sleeping. Banks was in like a right wing back position, not close. And then all it took was one simple pass through, and they've nicked it past Shepherd, who was slow to react, and that's 3-2. And then you're chasing then after that, aren't you? It's if it weren't for Didsy dragging that team up, we wouldn't have got a result there.
No,
it's just he was brilliant yesterday. I mean, we said at Christmas, didn't we, Ryan, that he was done. He was poor. He must have had a niggle or something at the time, because he's come back and he looks quick, hungry. He looks like a leader. You know, stick your armband on him. Get it off, Connell. Stick it on him. He's the inspirational person in his team now. And they look towards him. And every time good happens, they go to him. They don't go to Luca. It's like he just wastes opportunities.
He's the leader, isn't he? He is the leader. And he, for me, I think what it was with McGoldrick, when we said at Christmas, he just weren't being utilised. He was coming on for 5-10 minutes and just not being able to, put his stamp on the game. And now he's playing from the start nearly every game. He's influencing the game. Like I said when he came in, he's a Rolls Royce of a player. He's so good, and he's using all his experience of what is it, 19, 20 seasons that he's played in EFL, and he just shows his experience, and he dragged us back into that game. You're dead right. He's the one that put the shot in. The keeper's made a good save, and Banks has followed it in, but then almost getting the winner at the end as well, because that we're in that defender's blocked it. That we're going top bins. That.
Yeah, I was right behind that. It's going bins that, and I thought, that's in. And then, but it's like
good block by defender.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Cleary and Bradshaw went off, he improved because he got put into the 9. He has to stay in the 9 all the time. He has to stay at 9.
Yeah.
And Bradshaw, I thought, were pretty good, and he worked hard, but I think somebody said to me he had a fitness test on Saturday morning. He were only 50-50 to play, which is, he had a scheduled hour, and I thought he did well. But again, it's this structure team, and I think everything works better when there's one striker and 3 in midfield centrally. Everything works better, and we've got to get back to that as soon as possible. And Peterborough, Tuesday, and we'll talk about them in a minute, will exploit us big time, especially in wide areas. They are always a good attacking side. And like I say, we'll talk about that. I've got concerns about that game. But we still could have won that match. We still could have won that match yesterday. Right at the end, we had chances. There were chances where McGoldrick got wide and could have cut it back and didn't. There were balls that flew across that 6-yard box and there were no striker there because he was the one crossing it. Just little margins and stuff like that. And we could have been out of sight, but it's another 2 points dropped in it.
It is, mate. It is. So that segues us nicely actually into the Peterborough game, and I'll come to you first in a second, Del, to see what your thoughts are with regards to Peterborough and what any changes, if any, that you'd make to the lineup. Just having a quick look at the form, they recently went on quite a bit of a run where they won 5 on the bounce, and they've had quite a lot of wins recently. To be fair, but in the last 10, they've won 5, lost 5. So they're sort of quite hit and miss, but they've had some fantastic wins away at Mansfield, which is no mean feat because Mansfield have been really solid of late. They beat Wickham away 2-0, which again no mean feat.
No,
they beat Bolton at home 3-1. They unfortunately lost to Bradford away yesterday. So they're quite hit and miss. But what I will say is, under Luke Williams, they've looked really, really good. Because if you look at the squad as a whole, they don't look as good as some of the other squads. But Luke Williams has obviously gotten playing to their strengths. Quite frankly, they've been fantastic since he's come in. He's been a complete revelation because Peterborough look absolutely dead and buried going down under Darren Ferguson.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, a quick look at the form. I mean, they scored 45 goals, so they're only a couple of goals behind us with regards to goals scored, and goals against 43. So they're quite similar to us in that respect. They're just not obviously losing as many as us, but we've got 45 for 43 against, so we've got +2 goal difference. Their away form, however, so played 16, won 7, lost 9. Goals for 18 in 16 away, so it's not massive away from home. And goals against 24. So that might help us, but also we know what our defence is like, guys. So anyway, I'll come to you first, Dale. Any changes that you'd make to the squad, and more importantly, the lineup come Tuesday night?
I'd change his forward line to a 1 instead of a 2.
Yeah,
I think that I don't think that Bradshaw and McGoldrick have the legs to play 90 minutes each. So I'd go with what you and Ant have been saying all day, is that I'd go for 4-3-3 possibly. We've done well away at Peterborough for the last couple of seasons. I believe we've took points off them. We've played some. We've got some results. We've swapped seasons with them, really, haven't we? But they've. Yeah. They started poorly. We started good. I don't think I'd make many changes, Ryan, to be fair. I think would you bring O'Connell back in instead of Robbo? Possibly, yeah. I think so. Just for a bit of, I know that they're not that far off with age-wise, but I think it's a bit of energy, a bit more physicality. Would I change much at midfield? Again, no. Patrick Kelly, for me, I rate him highly. He's our ball carrier in that midfield. He's our attacking midfielder. For me, he's that attacking threat in our midfield. I like him. I love him. I think I'd bring Phillips on. I think I would bring Phillips on just for a little bit of more help for McGoldrick up front, for that little bit more attacking output. Wingers wise, no, I wouldn't change Cleary or Scotty Banks, to be fair. The only thing that I don't like is Corey O'Keefe in defence. I think he's more of a attacking player for me. I think he's more technically going forward. I don't like him defending. I'd bring Ogbetter and Tanai Watson. I'd play them two.
Yeah. Makes sense, mate.
I'd play O'Connell and Shepherd defence. I'd play Kelly and Luca in midfield two. Phillips just in front of him, and then Cleary and Scotty Banks, and then McGoldrick up front for me.
Nice one. Ant, what would you do?
Yeah, I'd make a lot of changes, especially at back. I think it's time to roll dice. Shepherd needs a rest. Roberts shouldn't be in the team. So I would have Goodman in goal. And just mention about Goodman, he got a lot of stick Saturday. What did Goodman do wrong on Saturday? Nothing. He couldn't save first one. He couldn't save second one.
No.
And he was exposed for third one.
Goodman
didn't do it wrong yesterday. So I continue with Goodman. I would have O'Connell and MDG to mix it up, a bit of pace in there. Then I would, if Gent's available, I'd put Gent in, because you know my opinion on Gent. He stops crosses. He played it 21s Friday. Connor says he's available for selection, so you know I'd have Gent in or Ogbetter. It'd be one of them two. I'm sick of seeing Watson at left back. He seems to drift inside. He leaves a lot of space, and I think he needs to be put back at right back for this game, because Peterborough, I've got a lot of time for Peterborough, and they play wide players like we do. They've got Lisby on wing, Jimmy James Morgan, who we will link with. They've got some nice attacking players, and I think we need to have a good structure. So that being said, I'd have the midfield three of Connell, Phillips and Kelly. Kelly doing what he does. I don't care if Phillips is going in summer. We need 50 points. We need 50 points, and we need them now. So I want Phillips in that team. I want to get some wins. And when we get to 50, if he wants to play silly buggers and drop them because they might be leaving, go for it. But at this minute in time, we need Phillips in that team. And then I'd have Banks, who's brilliant. I love Banks. Cleary, again, because he were outstanding for that first half yesterday. He were unplayable. Yeah. And then I would have Didsey up front, and then I think Bradshaw is carrying a little knock, so I would have him on for the last 15. And that would be my team. Just structure it better. Have the one striker so you can bring another one on late and get us up the pitch. Simple things, but will he do it? I don't know.
Was it? Sorry to interrupt, guys, but was it a tactical thing with Reyes Cleary bringing him off yesterday, or was it a little niggle that he had?
I think it's just minutes in legs, mate. I think we need him for Tuesday night. He knows we need him for Tuesday night, but we did look a bit tame when he went off. But also, Reyes has played a lot of minutes, mate, and we've got a big schedule coming up. We've got Peterborough and Huddersfield coming up, and we're going to need Reyes firing from the start of the game. And that's all I think that one, mate. It's just saving his legs.
Agreed.
Yeah, which is just unfortunate, isn't it? But yeah, you think, why don't you bring Lennon on though? But anyway, it's gone now, isn't it? So, but for me, I tend to agree with you, mate. I'd play 4-3. I'd play 4-3-3. I'll go back to his old formation. I just think that this experiment of, I know what Connor's doing, I'm not saying it's right by any stretch of the imagination, but he's wanting to play Corey O'Keefe, and I think Corey O'Keefe's been good for us since he come back. Actually, I think I like Corey. I agree with Dale though. He ain't a right back. He's a right wing back. He isn't a right back. So it's just like, it's almost like Connor wants to play both him and Tanai Watson. So he's trying to shoehorn him into positions where he's obviously going to play Scotty Banks at right wing, because he's much more effective at right wing. So then we haven't got a right wing back. We're not playing a right wing back. So he's trying to put him in at right back, and then he's playing Watson at left back, who's actually a right back, and he's a better right back than O'Keefe is. Even though I like O'Keefe, he's been playing well, but he's a better right back than Corey O'Keefe. And we're just going back to the square peg round hole thing again, and it doesn't work, and it's showing on the field that we are conceding. We've conceded the second highest amount of goals in the entire division. There's us, Leighton Orient on 49 and Donny on 50. Both those teams have played more games than us. So overall, if you go goals per game, we conceded the highest amount of goals per game in this season in the entire division. And when you think there's teams like Port Vale and all them that are struggling, that's quite woeful, lads. And the defensive, the defence is just not working. And we can't afford at this point to be experimenting and trying playing players out of position. We need a left back at left back. We need a right back at right back, and we need 2 centre halves in middle that can play. Can play it. And let's get back to basics and stop trying to reinvent the wheel. This is what we need. Needs to just try and be solid. So for me, left back, either Gent or Ogbeta, and I'd be playing tonight Watson at right back. And then maybe use Corey to come on. But again, it's hard because I like Corey, and then centre half, I agree, mate. I just think Shep needs a bit of time out of the team. I like you, Dale. I like him, Shep. I do like him. I think he's a good lad. I just think his confidence is shot a bit, and he needs a bit of a break.
Yeah.
So I'd put MDG and O'Connell in middle. For centre midfield, I'd play Luca at CDM and then push. But instead of playing them 2, like you have said before, I just think we look so much better when we've got one pivot, like when Blandy were playing, when Connell were suspended, playing one CDM and pushing Kelly and Phillips up in that 3, just look better. And then Banks on the right, Clear on the left, Dids in the middle with Bradshaw to come off the bench. So that's what I'll be doing. So, but anyway, let's go to score predictions. For me, I'll come to you first, Dale. But looking at how many goals we've scored, how many gols we've conceded. Same for Peterborough. Looking at their win-loss ratio, Peterborough, and the same for ourselves. Even though they seem to be doing a bit better than us at the moment. I mean, it could be bloody anything, couldn't it? Really. So I'll come to you then, Dale. It's definitely not. We're definitely not going to have a clean sheet again. But
no, we've got to start winning, Ryan.
Got to start winning, mate. But what's your thought? What's your score prediction, Dale?
We've got points off Peterborough in past, but we're not looking on at past. We're looking at now and how we're playing now. I'd be happy with a 1-0 scrappy win, but it's not going to be that, is it? I'll take a draw away. I'll go 3-2 us. I'll go 3-2 us.
If he plays 4-3-3, I think we'll nick a 2-1. If he fannies about and plays 4-4-2 and messes about with backline again, I think we'll lose 3-1.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I'm going to say same as Dale. To be fair, I think there's going to be goals in it.
Yeah, goals.
I've got to go for a Barnsley win. Whether I'm confident of that win or not is a completely different thing. Because I'm literally throwing a corner up in air. Edge we win, Sales we lose. That's how it feels at the moment. So, but I'm going to go for. I'm not confident.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all. So we've got to start getting points on board. So yeah,
absolutely, mate. So I'm gonna go for a 3-2 win. So, right then, guys, Dale, thanks very much for joining us. Everybody else, if you've got to this point in the video, thanks for staying with us. If you'd like to share, and subscribe, comment down below what you thought of yesterday and what you think any changes that you're going to make to the Peterborough game and what you think the score will be. We've then got Huddersfield away on Saturday. Oh, sorry, after the Peterborough game. I'm going to be doing a video after the Peterborough game. We're looking forward to the Huddersfield game. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself then. So until that point, I'll see you after.